As the Big East women's basketball tournament approaches, we thought we would bring in an expert. She will be on the call with Lisa Byington for Fox Sports. It's LaChina Robinson. And LaChina, you've got to be thrilled to have Lisa back in the broadcast booth after you had to deal with an absolute hack Friday night in Queens.
You were great, Jay. I'm just glad that for this chat today, you got the best half of the Boo Crew, and you can tell Lisa I said that.
That's awesome. Okay, let's talk hoops. You got a good look at St. John's, a team that's kind of finding form at the right time as we head into the Big East tournament. Who are some other teams that you think are playing their best basketball right now at the most important time in the season?
Yeah, well, I'll start with St. John's since you mentioned him. It's interesting in watching this journey. We started off the season saying this may be the most talented offensive team we've ever seen in terms of balance for St. John's, but they weren't quite what we were used to seeing on the defensive end. Well, all that has changed. They are back to old form, #1 in the league in field goal percentage defense. I've just been really impressed, especially with the sophomore Alicia Cavey. You know, she's come on strong. And then I hope one thing we remember is that they want to stretch without Akina Walaire. And I think that rocked them a little bit in terms of how do they play without her, and just finding that consistency once she was back. But Singleton has been great. And I just think this team is gelling at the right time.
Another team that we were talking about was Georgetown, a team that we thought had a good chance to steal one this weekend. They did. They beat DePaul. Huge win for the Hoyas as they look to climb up the Big East standings. Are they a team that could play spoiler in Chicago?
They are a dangerous team, Jay. I mean, every coach in this league that I talk to says, we are not looking forward to playing Georgetown. What a job by James Howard this year, whether it's Cynthia Petke and her improvements. I mean, 8+ points per game. Her field goal percentage up, rebounds up. Deanna White obviously has been fantastic. This is a team that plays extremely hard. When Georgetown comes to the building, you know you're going to have a battle on your hands. So there's definitely a great opportunity. And Georgetown would be my surprise team to make it all the way to the Big East Tournament Championship.
Wow. There it is, LaChina Robinson putting the Hoyas as her sleeper for the Big East Tournament. Let's talk about individuals. At one point, through 10 weeks in conference play, it was 10 different players for 10 Player of the Week awards. Who is going to end up with this Player of the Year award?
Well, Jay, as hard as it's been, I've narrowed it down to 2 players that have really caught my eye. My front runner for Player of the Year is Alizea Blockton for Marquette. You know, her numbers blow me away. At 6 foot on the wing, she is at 54% field goal percentage, which is a number you usually only see for post players. 19 points per game in league play, which is #2. I just think she's been fantastic, very consistent. And the scary part is she hasn't even reached her ceiling of potential. So this is a player that could break out really at any moment, but she's my front runner. The sleeper and a player that I think we don't talk about enough is Kelly Campbell of DePaul. I'm blown away by her numbers this year. When you look across the board, her contributions, she's double figures in scoring. She is also, keep this in mind, at 5'10", second in the league in rebounding at 10 a game. So she's averaging a double-double. Oh, yeah, and she's first in assists. So what in the Russell Westbrook is happening when this young woman is almost averaging a triple-double every night? So Kelly Campbell would be the other player that's right there with Blockton for Player of the Year.
So you just mentioned DePaul's Kelly Campbell and Marquette's Alizea Blockton. Those 2 teams comfortably in the NCAA tournament field right now as we look at bracketology and the NCAA tournament come March. Villanova and Creighton, I also feel like are very comfortable. Are those 4 teams, you think, the 4 that are going to end up representing the Big East in the NCAA tournament?
Those teams right now, based on the numbers, have the strongest argument. Villanova, as of today, is 23. DePaul's 29 in RPI. Marquette's 30. Creighton's 42. Those are numbers you really can't debate with. St. John's is the team that's kind of on the bubble, I would say. They're a 55 RPI. Now, the important thing for St. John's is they end their schedule with Marquette and DePaul at home. So what a great opportunity to raise their RPI, to show that they're playing their best basketball. They've already won 4 out of their last 5. So this is a really important stretch here of the regular season. And obviously St. John's will also need to have a strong showing in the Big East tournament just to make sure that things are square.
Well, I know there's only limited amount of time left, but still a lot of things to be determined. Seeding will be determined this coming weekend, and then you've got a lot of fun ahead of you in Chicago. Before we let you go, you've done the Big East tournament the last couple of years. What is your favorite part each and every first weekend of March as February turns to March, getting together and doing the Big East tournament?
Yeah, well, obviously it's seeing all the fans come together, right? So everyone representing the different schools, we get to hang out with all the different mascots. You know, we've got great Big East representation there from the league office, people that help us like yourself all year to be great. Who can, I mean, can't leave out John Fanta, who is always someone that we look forward to hanging out to. But just the level of competition, you know, I think this league is in a great place. When you look over the last few years, first 2 years, only 2 teams in the tournament, last couple of years, 3, projected to get 4 in, possibly 5 this year. The Big East is really solidifying itself as a strong league. When you look at league RPI, they were right up there with the other top 5 conferences in the country. So it's just great basketball, and I just can't wait to see who takes home the crown.
Us too, LaChina. Thanks so much for sharing the knowledge, and we can't wait to see you out in Chicago for another Big East women's basketball tournament.
Thanks for having me, Jay. Appreciate your work all year. Thank you for doing this.